Good morning all. So now am I audible to you all? If yes, please comment. Is my voice audible to you all? Good morning all. You have done my homework also. You have solved the module. Okay, so good morning all. You have done solved the module. Module 4. Today I'll ask chapter wise, okay? If you have doubt in any chapter, you write all your doubts of individual chapter in one of your line, okay? So carboxylic acid, any doubt, any question number? You write all your question number of carboxylic acid in one line, so that we can increase our speed. So carboxylic acid, any doubt? Tell carboxylic acid, then acid derivative. Acid derivative doubt. Nitrogen compound. But you have to write chapter also. You have to write chapter also. idea which chapter it is. I think it's carboxylic acid chapter only, right? Question number 11. So here you have CH3, COOH, here red phosphorus and HI, there LiAlH4. Understand now? So this is a reduction. So if you reduce this, you will get CH3, CHO. You will get CH3, CHO. And in this case, you will have an CN, H2N formula or alkene. Then question, this is question number 11, question number 23. Right, 23 question is, the product A and B and C in the following reaction. You have Ca, O, C double bond O, H, O, C double bond O, H. On heating, we'll get HCHO, we'll get aldehyde. Okay. Now, once we get an aldehyde, this is NaOH. It will do a Cannizzaro reaction. Now in a Cannizzaro reaction, it will become HCOOH plus CH3OH. Okay, so one is aldehyde, both of the product, and on heating, both will form an ester. So when you form an ester, you will get CH3OCO, CH3. This is 23. Then question number 33 also. Question number 33 is Br2 with red phosphorus. This is HBZ reaction. CH3, CH2, COOH. Br2 with red phosphorus. So we will have CH3 and at alpha substitution we'll do Br, COOH, and then with NH3 alcoholic. NH3 alcoholic. In that case, what happens is, instead of here, you are going to substitute by NH3. So you will get CH3, CH, NH3COOH. This is amino acid. This is amino acid whose name is alanine. Then question number 37. Identify the Z in the series. That is also an easy question. Question number 37. So CH3CN in the presence of Na plus C2H5OH. This is reducing agent. So if it is reducing agent, it will become CH3CH2. CH2 NH2. Okay. Then HNO2. If you have HNO2, you will get CH3, CH2, N2 plus and H minus. And when you do K2Cr2O7 with H2SO4, it will go oxidation. This is an oxidizing agent. So if it is an oxidizing agent, it will become CH3COOH, final product. Okay, carboxylic acid derivative, second chapter from homework. Acid derivative. Any doubt in this chapter? Tell fast, beta. We have to teach you some more chapter also. Acid derivative, any doubt? Acid derivative, any doubt? Acid derivative. Question number 13. CS3CONH2. This. So we have CH3CONH2 with a P2O5 is a dehydrating agent. It is going to remove water. So if it remove water, you will get CH3CN, CH3CN. Okay. Then 4 hydrogen. 4 hydrogen is a reduction, so it will become CH3CH2NH2. With HNO2, it will become an oxidation CH3CHO. With copper at 300 degrees Celsius, sorry, this will become CHOH, CH2OH, and this will become CH3CHO. 25. The name of the ultimate product of the following: CH3COOH with NH3. So with this is a acid, this is a base. So they are going to form a salt first. CH3COO minus NH4 plus. Then what we are doing? We are heating it. If you heat, you will get CH3, C double bond O, NH2. And when you do with P2O5, this is the same reaction this. So the answer is CH3CN, whose name is acetonitrile. This is 25, right? After that, 46. CH3COOH, okay, that is also easy. 46 question. You get C6H5OH, that is phenol, plus CH3COCl. CH3COCl. Now when you do this reaction, always I told you, whenever you get this bond, you will shift this minus, plus, this will attack there, okay. Then, if that happens, we'll get O, C double bond, O minus, that will give back CH3 plus HCl. It is called phenyl acetate. This is 46, then 54 also. It's a primary amine. 54 is carbylamine reaction. Carbylamine reaction is given by what? It's given by primary amine, that is CH3NH2. Okay, so that's all for next chapter. Nitrogen compound. Doubts in nitrogen compound? Tell. Doubts in nitrogen compound? Tell doubts in nitrogen compound? Any doubts in nitrogen compound chapter? Seventeen, 25 and 18. I think only two people have solved this homework. One is Divya Mannu, another is in Kushal Gowda. Good work, both of you. And whoever is not doing it, later on you will not be able to solve these questions in the exam. Okay? So if you would have solved this, you would have gotten the answers also. Question number 17 we talk now. So question number 17 is, in the reaction CH3NH2 with excess CH3Cl, CH3NH2 plus CH3Cl. Now what happened? There is hydrogen here which will replace by this. So CH3NHCH3, but it is in excess. So I will add one more CH3Cl. I will add till it could do reaction. Okay. So CH3 and CH3 and CH3. One of the product here is HCl, another product is here HCl. Okay. Okay, one more we can do is CH3Cl, then it forms CH3N, CH3 whole positive and Cl minus. And the next point is they are doing what? Ag2O moist. If you remember moist, I told you RX plus Ag2O plus water gives rise to ROH. It means this Cl will get replaced by OH. So I can write NCH3 whole 4 plus and OH minus. This is question number 17. And then question number 18. A mixture of primary, secondary and tertiary amine is formed in the reaction of primary amine, secondary amine, tertiary amine. Primary amine, secondary amine, tertiary amine. But this can also be formed from, so 18 I can write one more reaction as CH3Cl plus NH3 will give you CH3Cl plus CH3NH2 plus HCl. So reaction between ammonia and methyl halide. Then question number 25. Ethylamine PCl5. Instead of this, I'll write that reaction only. That's all. That is also easy. Question number 25. Ethylamine. Ethylamine is C2H5NH2 PCl5. If you do it with PCl5, you will get CH3, CH2, NH, not NH, correct. So CH3, NH2, Cl. Then when you do with ammonia again, you will get CH3, CH2, NH2 back. This reaction is reversible reaction. Okay, that chapter is also over. Then after nitrogen compound we get next chapter, urea. Doubts in urea chapter? Doubts in urea chapter? Doubts in urea chapter? Doubt in urea chapter. Question number 3. Urea is NH2CO NH2. It is not a diamide of carbonic acid. Diamide of carbonic acid means you will write H2CO3 plus 2 moles of NH3. This is first reaction. Carbamamide. Carbamamide happens for HCO NH2. This is known as carbamamide. Amide of carbamic acid. Okay, so now NH3 plus H2C2O4 . 1 minute. Urea is okay, you leave this question. That is not a correct question. Will you leave that question? Question 3 you leave, okay? Question number 9. Question number 9 is urea plus malonic ester gives the compound it is known by, that is barbituric acid. You can draw NHCO, CO, CH2, NH and CO. This has a name of barbituric acid. This is question number 9. Then question number 11. Question number 11 is oxalic acid plus urea cyclic compounds number. Okay, oxalic acid is H2C2O4 plus NH2CO NH2 in the presence of POCl3. That they are saying 2 moles of water is removed. So what we take is we draw like this structure. From here H2O is gone. From here H2O is gone. Then we'll end up and join together. C double bond O, C double bond O. Then here you will get N and one H is there. NH. So they are asking is number of sp2 hybridized carbon atom. This is sp2. This is sp2. This is sp2. So we get total 3 carbon. That is question number 11. After that, question number 23. 23 is acetamide P2O5. That question. Okay. Acetamide CH3CO NH2 with P2O5. That is easy question. Most of the time you are asking this question. Whenever there is an amide and P2O5, you remove water. When you remove water, it goes like this. So it forms acetonitrile. Then what they are doing? They are doing reduction, Sn with HCl. And whenever you reduce this, you will get primary amine CH3CH2, NH2. That's all. Question number 23 is done. Question number 13. Tilden's reagent is NaCl. This you have to memorize. I told you this. In a class I told you. Tilden's reagent is NaCl. Okay, nitrogen compound is also done. Then we get next chapter benzene we have done. Then we get next chapter as aniline. Okay. Now doubts in aniline. Doubts in aniline. Doubts in aniline? Doubts in aniline chapter? Any doubts? Bit of fast. Fast. Okay, no doubt then. So after aniline, phenol we have already. Okay, there is a doubt in 43 question. Aniline reacts with phosgene gas and KOH to form isonitrile. So, question number 43. NH2 phosgene gas is pH 3 plus. Phosgene is COCl2 plus aqueous KOH will like to form a compound which is known as NC double bond O, phenyl isocyanate. 14, 15, 16. What happened in 14, 15, 16? Together you are asking. 14. Aniline can be prepared by the following: CONH2 plus Br2 KOH. That is called Rosenmund reaction. That is called Rosenmund reaction. It will form primary amine. Then, so first will form primary amine, which is aromatic compound. Second is C6H5NHCOCH3 with hydrolysis. So if you have 14th question, C6H5NHCOCH3 on H2O with H plus. So now this is known as group protection technique. Okay. Now in this case of water, if you do I2, it will going to break from the bond from here. You will get a compound of phenol plus CH3CO NH2. Question number 15. And the C option is done. C option will give, because you have C6H5NO2 in the presence of iron and HCl. It's a reducing agent. And if it is a reducing agent, it will form C6H5NH2. Sodium anthranilate with soda lime. Soda lime is NaOH. And anthranilate is this compound. Question number 15 now you are asking. Okay. This is here. Select the reaction in which diphenyl thiourea is formed. So question number 15. Diphenyl thiourea. Okay, so you will take C6H5NH2 plus CH2. So what we get is carbon, sulfur, and H phenyl ring. So we take 2 phenyl ring in the middle and H2. So diphenyl thiourea. Plus H2S. This is called mustard oil reaction also. Then question number 16. Question number 16 is, which of the following is true? pKb of aniline and pK of, okay, so you have to compare this. Question number 16. You have to compare aniline and ethylamine. In ethylamine you will draw the structure as C2H5 NH2. In aniline you will draw the structure of NH2. These two lone pair are involved in a resonance. These lone pair are not involved in resonance, so it is free to donate. If you write their basicity order, this is more basic than aniline. If it is more basic than aniline, that is the same order of its Kb. But pKb order will be reversed then. 15 done. Question number 27. NHCO-CO3. Okay, that question also will solve. We have NHCO, CH3 with presence of HNO3 and H2SO4. This is a nitrating mixture. So here electrophile is NO2 plus, and then this group is ortho and para directing. Okay. So we'll draw both the products ortho and para. NHCO, CH3, here NO2 plus. NHCO, CH3 and NO2. Here it is major product. And then you have H2O and water. H2O and H plus. So in case of H2 and H plus, you will get NH2 and NO2 plus CH3COOH. 15 I have already taught. Okay, so aniline chapter is also over. Phenol we have already done. Nitrobenzene. Doubt in nitrobenzene chapter? Tell. Doubt in nitrobenzene chapter? Doubt in nitrobenzene chapter? Did anyone solve nitrobenzene? Okay, so we get doubts. Question number 26. A solid compound is formed by the reaction of nitrobenzene with a mixture of concentrated HNO. It's a nitration. That is very easy question. Nitrobenzene is this compound. 26 plus you are adding HNO3. You are adding HNO3 in the presence of concentrated H2SO4. It's this process is what? This process is nitration. Nitration, the electrophile is NO2 plus. It is going to attack on benzene, but the question is where? Question is, so it depends on the answer here. This is minus M. Minus M is meta directing. So ortho meta, so it will attack here. When it attacks there, we can easily draw a compound structure NO2. Ortho meta, so another NO2. Question number 10. SnHCl, zinc dust, H. Okay, so if they have given a back reactions, okay, so we'll go from the back side. Okay, we'll write here only A with SnHCl gives B with NaNO2 and HCl at a 0 degrees Celsius. Then C with H2O gives D. D with zinc dust and heating gives C6H6. Okay. So if you have this data, then what I can do is, this is benzene. This is benzene from here to back. Okay. From here to back. Okay. The way I do. So this is benzene. This reaction, D must be phenol. D must be phenol. Then only this reaction is possible. If you take phenol with zinc dust, it will form benzene plus water. Okay. Or not water, it will form ZnO. Okay. If it is in this place, this is a setup for diazonium salt. This is a setup of diazonium salt. So this C, instead of this we will write N2Cl. This is a diazonium salt too. Then this B must be an amine. Must be an amine, it means it will be this particular compound NH2. And this is a reducing agent. It means that group must be a nitrobenzene. Now we can see the complete reaction from here to backside up. So NO2 undergoes reduction, forms aniline. Aniline undergoes diazotinization, it forms diazonium salt, which undergoes hydrolysis, forms phenol. Phenol reacts with zinc dust to form benzene. So that's how question number 10 is solved. Then after that, question number 12. ABC in the following reaction. But easy problem you're asking me. You're having same doubt, I think so. Question number 12. So ABC in the following reactions. Okay, sequence is this. You get C6H6. You get concentrated HNO3 and concentrated H2SO4. You get A. A reacts with SN with HCl. You get B. B reacts with SnCl2 and NaOH. Correct? Okay. So now, benzene, this is a nitrating mixture. So NO2, this is nitrobenzene. This is what? This is reduction. So B is aniline, and this is a coupling reaction. This is coupling reaction. In coupling reaction, we take 2 moles of this and we write like this. This is the answer for coupling reaction. So 10, 12, 34 then. Now we are solving question number 34. A reduction, B chloroform and C reduction and methylaniline. Now so we'll do the same thing again. A gives reduction. A on reduction gives B. B will CHCl3 and KOH. By looking at this, you can tell me this is a carbylamine reaction. Because of this reason, this is carbylamine reaction. Okay. Then C. C undergoes reduction, forms a compound N-methylaniline. N-methylaniline. So this is N-methylaniline. This is reduction. It means when you get here, you get a compound of N-C coordinate bond, isocyanide. This is because this is a carbylamine reaction. If this is a carbylamine reaction, this is primary amine. If this is a primary amine, it is NH2. If this is a reduction, then it must be NO2. Next chapter, benzoic acid. Doubts in benzoic acid? Doubt in benzoic acid? So, doubts in benzoic acid? Question number 8. The end product in the sequence. That also will be easy, I think so. We can try. Question number 8. C6H6 in the presence of CH3Cl and AlCl3. It gives aromatic hydrocarbon. Okay. Then Cl2 with boiling. It gives C6H5 CCl3. Then CaOH whole twice. It gives C6H5COO whole twice Ca. And H2SO4. Then N. What they are asking is the end product in the sequence would be. Okay. So first thing is this, you know what it will be. This will be CH3 because this is Friedel-Crafts alkylation. This is Friedel-Crafts alkylation. Then from here we can see, you see, Cl2, all three hydrogen is replaced by this. Then CaOH twice. Then in case what happens is this all will be replaced by benzoic acid. Benzoic acid reacts with the base. It forms salt. And when I take salt with a strong acid, I am getting some back. This will become, this is hydrolysis. COOH plus CaSO4. That is question number 8. Question number 7. Benzoin condensation, last class I told. Last class. Benzoin condensation I already told. Okay, so try look in there. Question number 19. Vigorous oxidation and dry heating. So 19. Here you already have been oxidized, but this will undergo oxidation. So if this undergoes oxidation, alcohol will become aldehyde. But I'm saying vigorous oxidation. Word is used here is vigorous. Vigorous means I'm not stopping at one time oxidation. I'm doing one more time. While doing one more time, okay. So two times it will happen. So what I get is I get this compound. COOH, COOH. The name of this compound is phthalic acid. The name of this compound is phthalic acid. On phthalic acid you are heating it. So if you heat it will remove water. When it removes water, it becomes this compound. This is known as phthalimide. Not phthalimide, phthalic anhydride. This becomes PHALIC, phthalic anhydride plus water. And that is question number 19. Okay, so after this we have our next chapter as benzaldehyde. Doubts in benzaldehyde? Okay, benzaldehyde is over. Sorry, my mistake. Okay, that's all. That's all for today class for module wise. Now I'll teach you, okay? Now I'll teach you. So as you know, the today topic is solution. Today topic is solution and solution, right? So while we're talking about solution, our chapter name is dilute solution and its colligative property, right? That is our chapter name. That is our chapter name. Now in this chapter, as I told you 2-3 things before, those things, same things are going to come here. First, we will have liquid solution. Because it's a solution chapter. Okay. So gaseous state I already told you. Now we are doing liquid solution, then we'll do solid solution also. So this is liquid solution. In this case of liquid, one thing how many types of it could be? So one is solid, one is, I can write like this. We can make a table of solute, solvent and solution. This is a very basic. Simply I am giving you the idea of it, then we'll go deeper. Okay. So solute. If you mix a solid, as solute, solvent is liquid, the solution will be, what is the state of matter of solution? Such as example, salt solution, tell me what is the state of matter of solution? What is the state of matter of solution here? Right? The answer is liquid. So this is liquid. Second, if you mix liquid and liquid, examples such as you can mix water and HNO3, you can mix benzene plus toluene. What is the liquid? State of matter here. That also will come as liquid. Third case is if you mix gas in a liquid, still it will become a liquid. Example is dissolved oxygen gas in water. Dissolved oxygen gas in water. Why I made this table? If you see what are the components, everywhere I am getting liquid solution. So it means when I am teaching a liquid solution chapter, all three cases I am teaching this. But in the question you should be also able to understand which case it is. Because if you are not able to find which case it is, you cannot apply the proper formula. Okay. Now I am going to tell you what are the formulas used. This box is much more common. So now in this case we will say concept used. Concept used. If you are able to memorize this side, believe me, you will apply the correct formula in the solution chapter. So in this case, this is the first thing. Liquid and liquid, I will get liquid everywhere. Here the concept used is known as Raoult's law. Here the concept used is known as Raoult's law. When you dissolve solid in a liquid, okay, there what is used is colligative properties. Gas dissolved in a liquid forms a liquid. There what is used? There we use Henry's law. So now I have given you three tables. I have given you a table in which I have given you three concepts. These are the most important concepts. So if you are liquid, we'll use Raoult's law. If you are solid in liquid, we'll use colligative property. And if you are gas in liquid, we'll use Henry's law. Three laws we'll use. Okay, so now we'll go to the first adage, which is known as Raoult's law. Okay, which is known as Raoult's law. So the Raoult's law is applicable for ideal solution. Raoult's law is applicable for ideal solution. And what is ideal solution? Ideal solution means the force between solute particle is the same as force between solvent particles is also equals to force between solute and solvent force. Ideal solution, force between solute particle is equal to force between solvent is equal to force between solute and solvent. If this is there, then those solute and solvent will form ideal solution. Okay, and why these are equal? Because if solute and solvent has similar structure, if solute and solvent has similar structure, such as C2H5Cl and C2H5Br, ethyl chloride, ethyl bromide, their structure is same. If I will mix ethyl chloride with something water, this is liquid. This is liquid. Okay. If you mix this with another liquid, their structures are not same. Because one is carbon, there are two carbon. In water, there are 3 atoms only. Here, so many atoms are there. So their structures are not same. Then they won't form ideal solution. To have ideal solution, their structure should be more similar. Their structure should be more similar. Okay. So once you have an ideal solution, it must satisfy these conditions. What are the conditions? First condition is delta V mixture must be equals to 0. Delta V mixture must be equals to 0. Then this is change in volume. Then next is change in enthalpy of mixture is equals to 0. Then what is the next thing is delta G mixture is negative and delta S mixture is greater than 0. Delta U mixture is equals to 0. This is for ideal solution. This is for ideal solution. This is for any solution. Means this is for mixing. If you want two things to get mixed, they must follow these two conditions. If you want those two things to get mixed and forms ideal solution, they should follow all 5. Whenever mixing comes, these two will come automatically, whether mixing of gas, acid, gas, solid, liquid, anything. But if you want to mix them and also you want to make them ideal solution, all 5 must be followed. Understood this? All copied? If you have copied, write in the comment box that you have copied. Okay, now, so that is theory. Now I'll give you problems how they solve. So Raoult's law is given like this. Pt equals to, before we write Pt, we'll give an example. There is A solid, A liquid, B liquid is mixed. It is present here. Okay. This will do. A liquid is giving, A liquid is mixed with B liquid. Okay. Then what happens? Slowly we are heating it, or it is getting evaporized. Anything. If you don't need also, it will go evaporation, because evaporation takes place at any temperature. So what happens is, here you will form gas. Now when you have gas, in gas you will also have A and B. Okay. So the pressure caused by here all the gases is known as Pt. Whereas the pressure caused by A is known as Pa. Pressure caused by B is known as Pb. Understand? Okay. Then what happens is, here the mole fraction is Xa, their mole fraction is Xb in liquid state. In liquid state, their mole fraction is Ya, their mole fraction is Yb. That is vapor phase. This is liquid phase. That is gaseous phase. Understand everything? So now we have formula Pt equals to Pa naught Xa plus Pb naught Xb. This is one formula. What is Pa naught? Pa naught is saturated vapor pressure of A. What is Pb naught? Pb naught is saturated vapor pressure of B. Okay. Then this Pt can also be written as Pa naught plus Pb naught minus PA naught into XB. This whole equation is given only in terms of XB, okay? Also can be written as PB naught plus PA naught minus PB naught into XA. Now it is a variable in XA, and if you want to find YA is calculated as PT, just calculate like this, PA equals to PT dot YA equals to PA naught dot XA. So YA equals to PA naught dot XA by PT. YA is mole fraction of A in vapor phase. XA is mole fraction of A in liquid state. PA naught is saturated vapor pressure. PT will write it as total pressure. PT is total pressure. The same way I can write for YB also. PB naught dot XB by PT. Understand? All copied? Tell me if you copied all or not. You copied? Okay, so now question. Solve this question. Find out PT, YA, YB, XA, XB when PA and PB when 2 moles of benzene with PA naught equals to 760 mmHg is mixed with 2, not 2, we can check 3 moles of toluene with PB naught equals to 700 mmHg. So solve. In this question I have asked all the possible questions they can ask. So solve carefully. You get 3 minutes to do it. solving people are solving it or not? So we'll try. What is given? Na is given as 2 moles, Nb is given as 3 moles, Pa naught is given as 760, Pb naught is given as 700. So how is XA? XA is Na by Na plus Nb. So 2 by 2 plus 3, 1 by 5. How do I calculate XB? Nb by Na plus Nb, 3 by 2 plus 3. So not 1, 2 by 5. Here 3 by 5. So first thing we can find PT. PT equals to Pa naught XA plus Pb naught XB. Right? So Pa naught is 760 into 2 by 5 plus 700 into 3 by 5. LCM comes as 5. This becomes 1520, right? And that becomes 2100. When you add, it becomes 3620 by 5. So we'll divide 5 7 ja 35. 35. 1 is remaining 12. So 7 2 ja 5 2 ja 10. 1 more is remaining. 2 more is remaining. So 4. That is your PT. Once you have PT, so I have done what? P and T we also have to find, right? Separately. So PA equals to what? PA naught XA. It means what? 760 into 2 by 5. 760 is 1520 by 5. Right? If you divide 3, 5 3s are 15 and 5 not 4. So sorry, 3 not 4 mmHg. This is PA. So PV equals to PB naught XB 700 into 3 by 5, 2100 by 5, 5 4s are 20. Over 10 is remaining, so 5 2s are 10 and 0. 422 mmHg. So this I've done, this I've done, this I've done, this I've done, I've done this also. Now Ya. Ya equals to Pa naught XA by PT. Pa naught XA just now I calculated 304 by PT 724. You divide them. YB. PB naught XB by PT equals to 420 by 724. I'll give you the answer now, okay? Correct your answer, whoever solved this question. Check your answer. 304 divided by 724. 0.419. 0.419. And the other division will be 420 divided. So that will become 0.581. People have given answer. PT is 724. Narayan answer is correct. Ya is 0.4 correct. YB is 0.58 correct. XA 2 by 5. XB 3 by 5. PA 304 correct. Good. Narayan Krishnan, your answer is good. Good job. Shiva Kumar, your answer is also good, but you only wrote for 2 values. copied? Copied this all? Tell me. Have you copied or not? Copied all? Okay, so now the next heading is non-ideal solution. In case of non-ideal solution, what happens is these three things happens. Delta V mixture is not equals to 0. Delta U mixture not equals to 0. Delta H mixture not equals to 0. But it is a solution, so it is a mixture. So if it is a mixture, those two conditions must satisfy. Delta G mixture is less than 0. Delta S mixture is greater than 0. These are the 5 conditions. Now why it is happening? Because the force between solute and solvent is not same as force between solute to solute is not equals to force between solvent and solvent. Reason could be because their structures are different. Because their structures are different. That could be the reasons. Okay, so then what happens is these are of two types. These are of two types. What are those two? First one is known as positive deviation non-ideal solution. Positive deviation non-ideal solution is first one. So when you have positive deviation non-ideal solution, what happens is delta V mixture, delta U mixture, delta H mixture, all three is greater than 0. All three is greater than 0. That stays as it is. Delta G mixture is less than 0. Delta S mixture is greater than 0. This all is greater than because they have weaker force of attraction. They have weaker force of attraction. If they have weaker force of attraction, then what happens is, then PT is greater than PA naught XA plus PB naught XB. One more point we can write, non-ideal solution does not follow Raoult's law. They do not follow Raoult's law. Let's say this is not equal. Let's say it is not equal. Understood? Okay, so I can say also PA is greater than PA naught XA, PB is greater than PB naught XB. This is all about positive deviation, non-ideal solution. Examples also I'll tell. Example, if you mix C2H5OH plus water, if you mix ethyl alcohol and water, this all will go to category of positive deviation. All will go to category of positive deviation. Copied? Okay. This is first type. Second type is negative deviation non-ideal solution. Negative deviation non-ideal solution. The simple thing is the delta V mixture, delta U mixture, delta H mixture is less than 0, and delta S mixture is greater than 0, delta G mixture is less than 0. Why this is happening? This is happening because they have a stronger force of attraction. If this happens, then PT is less than PA naught XA plus PB naught XB, or PA is less than PA naught XA, or PB is less than PB naught XB. Example, you mix HNO3 plus water. This will be an example of negative deviation. And negative deviation means it boils at a very, very high temperature. That's why this is called as maximum boiling azeotropic mixture. This is positive deviation, its volume, everything is more. That's why it boils at a very, very less temperature. That's why it is known as minimum boiling azeotropic mixtures. Full board. Go slide. Copied all people? Copied? Yes or no? Okay, so now we're going to do next topic is qualitative properties. Colligative properties. Then you should know that colligative properties are those properties which depends only on number of solute particles. They are only depend on number of solute particles. They does not, or they do not depend on type of solute, okay, or which one is solute. What are, how many are there? Are total 4, right? First one is known as relative lowering of vapor pressure. Relative lowering of vapor pressure. Second one is depression Then what do we have is we are going to write their short form. This is known as RLVP. This is known as DFP. This is known as EBP. This is known as OP. So the first heading is RLVP, relative lowering in vapor pressure. So I'll draw a diagram now. You are having A and B mixture, okay? Then what happens is, it has XA, this has XB, it has got PB naught. What happens is, one of them is solid, because this colligative property is a concept used for solid dissolvent in liquid. So if B is there, so A becomes solid. So its P A naught is 0. Okay. Then what happens when you heat this? A is not going to vaporize because A is solid. So what you have here is pure B. That is PB, that is PT, because only single gas. Okay. It will also have YB, because YA will be 0. Understand? Then I have equation which I taught in a Raoult's law. What is the equation I taught in Raoult's law? PT equals to PA naught XA plus PB naught XB. What is 0? PA naught is 0. So PT equals to 0 plus PB naught XB. Now PT equals to PB naught XB. I write it as 1 minus XA. XA is not 0. XA will be there. So if you open this, we get PT equals to PB naught minus PB naught XA. Bring PB naught XA here, take that to other side. So we'll get PB naught XA is equals to PB naught minus PT. This is known as LVP, lowering in vapor pressure. But we are not doing lowering in vapor pressure. We are doing lowering, relative lowering in vapor pressure. So take a PV naught, divide here. XA equals to PB naught minus PT by PV naught. That is equals to RLVP, relative lowering in vapor pressure. That is mole fraction of A, which is solid. Mole fraction of solid. And in the questions, how they write? Instead of writing solid, they will write non-volatile. If they says non-volatile, it means PA naught is 0. Then this is RLVP. Second is known as DFP, depression in freezing point. Depression in freezing point. So now what happens is we find delta TF. Delta TF means what? TF1 minus TF2. Okay. What is TF1? This is one formula. What is TF1? TF1 equals to freezing point of pure solvent. TF2 is what? Freezing point of solution. Then is delta TF equals to KF dot M. KF dot M. What is M? M is known as molality. Molality or moles per kg of solvent. What is KF? KF is known as cryoscopic constant or depression constant. Its units are degree Celsius per mole per kg or Kelvin per molal. Third one is elevation in boiling point, EBP, which is denoted by delta TB equals to TB2 minus TB1. Then what is TB1? Same thing, boiling point of pure solvent. What is TB2? Boiling point of solution. Then formula. Delta TB equals to Kb dot m. Delta TB equals to Kb dot m. What is m? M molality. Same molal unit or moles per kg. What is Kb? Kb is known as elevation constant. Its value could be calculated degree Celsius per molal or Kelvin per molal. Copied? Full board. Half side, then half side. Copied? Yes or no? Copied, right? Then the fourth one is known as osmotic pressure. Okay. Osmotic pressure is denoted by pi, calculated as CRT, where T is temperature, must be in Kelvin, R is gas constant, whose value will take 0.0821 atm dot liter per mole per Kelvin, or we can take 8.314 joules per mole per Kelvin. C is molarity. So pi unit is pressure, atm or Pascal. Then there is a concept called want of factor. Want of factor happens what? Sometimes dissolving solute, right? Solute are all are solid in this case. So I can dissolve sugar, I can dissolve urea, I can dissolve NaCl, I can dissolve glucose, all I can dissolve in water. Okay. The problem here is what? Problem here is what? If you dissolve these three, Whatever values I'll calculate of all these colligative property and I'll calculate experimentally. Both values were matching. But if I dissolve and calculate value for NaCl for all these four properties and then I do experiment on the same solution, the properties were not matching. Properties were not matching. Such as NaCl or CaCl2, these properties were not matching. Then want of factor. Want of is a scientist who has came forward and said there is a problem. The problem can be solved provided you understand one thing is they produce ions. This also produce ions. These three does not produce ions. That's why this comes in category, this is coming in another category. Okay. Then what happens? Then it try to make a formula out of it. So want of factor is denoted by I. Okay. Want of factor is denoted by I. And it depends on two different conditions. Okay. For non-electrolyte, it means which are not going to form ions. Okay. Their value of I is 1 always. For non-electrolyte, I is 1. So sugar, urea, glucose are non-electrolyte. Then for dissociation electrolyte. For dissociation electrolyte, I has a formula. I equals to 1 plus n minus 1 into alpha. For dissociation electrolyte, I equals to want of factor equals to I plus n minus 1 into alpha. What is alpha? Alpha is degree of dissociation. N is what? Number of ions. Okay. Then for association type, for association electrolytes, what happens? There are some compounds which get associated, not ions basically a compounds, such as a benzoic acid or an acetic acid gets dimerized. It means two molecules of acetic acid will club together. It means they are going to undergo dimerization. For that, want of factor formula is I equals to 1 plus 1 by n minus 1 into alpha. Now alpha is degree of association and n is number of molecules. Copy fast. Copied beta. All people have copied it. Tell me, have you copied it or not? Done? Comment. Have you copied all this? Okay, so now come here. Now all those four qualitative property formula I'm going to change. Okay, I'm going to write like this. RLBP. Second one was depression in freezing point. Third one was elevation in boiling point. Fourth is osmotic pressure. The formula goes like this. I written formula as PB naught minus PT by PB naught equals to I dot XB. This is XA. Here formula becomes delta TF equals to I dot K F dot M. Here formula becomes delta TB equals to I dot KB dot here. Here pi becomes equals to I dot C dot RT. So if you are noticing one thing clearly, I am multiplying I to all the side. Copied that side also? Yes or no? Okay, next here. There only will do. So now that winds up the second concept. First concept was Raoult's law. Second concept is colligative property. Third concept is Henry's law. Henry's law talks about there is a liquid and here is a gas. Okay. So gaseous molecules put pressure here. If the pressure is more enough, that this molecule come here. And this is called gas getting dissolved. So what Henry's law says that the mass of gas dissolved is directly proportional to pressure of gas applied. So we can do what W of gas per unit volume we generally say by V. We'll remove a proportionality sign, we say KH dot P gas. This is Henry's constant. What type of question comes in this case? In this case, question comes as if the value of KH is more, this is important, very important. If the value of KH is more, the solubility of gas is very good. This is important. If the value of KH is more, the solubility of gas is less. The solubility of gas is less. Understand? Right question. Find out the want-off factor for Al2SO4 thrice when it is 60% dissociated. Solve this question. Solving. Guru is giving answer as 3.6. How can we see? So first we need to write a reaction. Al2SO4 whole thrice gives rise to 2Al3 plus 3SO4 2 minus. The value of N is 5 here. 2 plus 3. Value of N here is 2 plus 3. So quantum factor I equals to 1 plus 5 minus 1 into 60%, so 0.6. So 1 plus 5 minus 1. 5 minus 1, 4 into 0.6. So 1 plus 6 4s are 24, so 2.4. So the answer is 3.4. 3.6 is not the correct answer. 3.6 is not the correct answer. Done, beta? Okay, so today that's all for today class. Now I'll give you the homework. So first homework is module 3. Okay, first homework is module 3. In module 3, chapter number 5. Chapter number 5, solution and colligative property. The exercise is present at page number 50. No, the exercise is present at page number 61. There are total 52 questions. There are total 52 questions. Okay, so 2 chapters is your homework, 3 chapters is your homework. First one is solution and colligative properties. Second and third chapter. Now all these 26 people are having NCERT book, right? So what your job is to do, NCERT or any other chemistry book, okay? You read NCERT, whichever chapter I'm writing, okay? Those chapter you will read from book, and if you have doubts while reading it, you underline those doubts, you ask me in the next class, and then whichever chapter I'm writing, these exercise you will get in groups. Those exercise I'll discuss in the next class. So those exercise you solve, and when you solve them, if you get doubts, you can ask me in the next class. Hydrogen and its compound is one chapter, and second chapter is S block elements. These 2 chapters you have to read from your books of chemistry, and those exercises on these 2 chapters will be provided in today groups. Try to solve them. If doubt comes in the next class, as I discussed today 6, 7 chapter, I'll discuss them also. Why I'm telling you to read these 2 chapters is, if you read them and simultaneously you write some notes out of bullet points, it will help you in memorizing these 2 chapters, which will help you in the exam to get marks. Okay. Second reason is, these chapters are more theoretical or more memorizing, these 2 chapters. Okay. Here you can have formulas, you can solve problems. Here there are not formulas. Here everything is you need to mug up, you need to memorize faster. So the sooner you start memorizing this, the sooner your chapter will become strong. Okay? So we'll continue in the next class. Solve these 3 chapters. These 3 exercises will be given today in the groups. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you all.